Yeah, also the speed in the end. And we're being joined by Hikaru Nakamura showing great speed once again, seconds after his match is over. Hikaru, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I don't know if I deserve to win this match, but I found a way to at least get it to an Armageddon, and then I mean, sort of all the cards were on the table.
Yeah, that was a strange one. Let's recap.
Well, I mean, the whole thing was strange. Yeah, which game do you want to look at first? I mean,
so in the first game, I can't recall what even happened. Yeah, you had this bishop c7, bishop a5 trick, and you were a pawn down starting it.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I wasn't awake enough for the first game, and Levon was just playing good moves, and I literally missed everything. Like when he went bishop c, before I went bishop d8, I think I had a moment where, yeah, like on bishop c7, I could have played queen b7, bishop a5, maybe an e5 or something like this. I mean, maybe it's still bad, but something like this is what I want to do. And then I thought, okay, I just go bishop d8 and I'm completely fine. And after bishop a5, it was really unpleasant. But I mean, I still somehow Levon let me off the hook completely, and then I think I was just completely fine in the game.
Yeah, you came back. Then it looked like it. I don't know if we didn't check with computer, but it looked like it was roughly equal somewhere.
Yeah, so okay, so right here, okay, I mean, right here, I thought f4 was the only way to try and win. I mean, I saw that Levon could play king e2 after rook f7, like takes, rook f8. Yeah, and of course, the point is that bishop b8, instead of king e2, I go bishop e3, rook g4, and now I have knight f6, and I think this is winning.
Yeah, we had something like this, some rook h4, and who knows, but it looks
maybe okay, because I mean, I thought if I do it with the rook on f8, there's some knight e6. Yeah, like if you go back instead of rook f7. Yeah, like here if I go bishop e3, rook g4, knight f6. I mean, he has knight e6 here, and now I mean the game is still very, very much alive. So I mean, what I did was fine, but then I completely overestimated I thought there was no way that I could lose the game. I thought it was like risk-free the rest of the way, and I was very wrong about that.
When you get this, where you got later rook versus rook bishop, do you feel with this time control it's hard to hold, or was there a certain slip, or how do you feel about it?
I mean, I think in general it shouldn't be that hard, but I mean, I let the king get cut off, which I didn't have to let happen. I mean, once I blundered that, I think it's very difficult. Mind you, I think it was still a draw at the end, but I mean, the whole thing, like once the king gets cut off and you're on the edge, I mean, I think practically speaking, even if you have a minute on the clock, it's very hard.
Yeah. Someone told us, but I still haven't understood, that after rook f2, king b1, bishop d4, some rook c7 or some fantasy move is a draw.
No, I make the check. I go rook d1 check. Mm-hmm. King c3, and now I go rook c1, king b3, rook c2. But I mean, okay, to find this with no time, like, right. Because if the rook goes up, I go rook b2 check. I mean, I think it's still a draw.
Yeah.
But okay, I mean, this whole thing was, I mean, already completely insane. So it was very hard to recover. So yeah, I mean, this first game was really, really bad. Game two, I think out of all the games was probably the calmest, actually. It's the one where I think there were probably the fewest blunders by either of us.
Yeah, that just looked like a well-played game.
Yeah, I mean, the only well-played game, I think. I mean, it goes without saying, like, okay, if you look at game three, I mean...
There's a weird spot there. I'm not sure if you've been told about this already.
Yeah, I mean,
but out of the opening... Yeah, okay, you heard it.
I mean, this is, like, ridiculous. I can take on b4 and trade in queen b3 is... I mean, this is just... I mean, ridiculous. I mean, I don't know, though, what was going on, because Levon played queen b2 right away. So I mean, I don't know if he was bluffing or if like I don't really know what was going on, but it felt like even in this game, both of us were somehow not playing very good chess. And then even later, he should have been much better.
We thought the only way you missed this after queen b2 is exactly because he blitzed it out. So you assume it's preparation and you don't look for a way to take all his pawns normally, no?
Well, yeah, but also I think in the Fabiano game, I mean, I know the pawn is on h4 instead of h3, but I thought Fabiano also played queen b2. I mean, the bishop, I think, was on e2, but Fabiano also played a queen b2 in the structure.
Right.
So I think that's why it just didn't occur to me. But yeah, of course, I should have seen it. Really bad. But I mean, I found a way to draw the game, so at least there's that. Because I feel like around here, there should be some way. I don't know. I mean, maybe not the rook trade, but I thought maybe if yeah, so instead of rook f1, bishop d8. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there should be some way for white to get some kind of position where he can try to win, because it fizzled out into a very like straightforward draw. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it
Yeah, we
feels like
didn't
there should
see
be
it either,
something.
Horror. I don't think computers were yelling that much. Of course, it looked nice for white, but maybe it was still.
Right, and then yeah, and then game 4. I mean, game 4. I thought I played pretty well. I mean, I kind of tricked Levon with this move where I played this h5, and one of the good things I would add is that I suspect that after bishop g4, rook e1, I suspect that black can just take the pawn on h5 here. But in a must-win game where there's really no, I mean, like a draw or a loss is the same thing. I mean, there's no reason not to play this. And I suspect that after bishop h5, black should be completely fine. But again, in a rapid game,
bishop h7, we thought.
Oh, I didn't even see this. Oh wow. Yeah, okay. It's just not my day then. Yeah, okay. That's yeah, very, very bad. Okay, so then yeah, after queen d7, knight d4, I mean, h6, g6, knight d4, I think I should just be clearly better here, but somehow, like, again, I didn't find the right plan. I mean, king b1 seemed like a natural move, but it might just be wasting time. And then yeah, Levon played b5. I mean, I thought everything was pretty standard. Like, again, I mean, if you go back 2 moves, I feel like somehow I should have put the pawn on f4 and stopped e5 instead of letting this structure occur with g4, e5. Like, I thought I should try and get f4, d5 versus g4, e5, because what I got in the game, I mean, I think is very, very sharp. Maybe the computer loves it, but I don't know. It just somehow during the game, it just didn't feel right. And then later, I mean...
Later was a bit of a mess. No, we were talking... I'm not sure, we haven't checked with computer, but in this position before knight c5, black had options for sure. No, a5 or bishop c5, and who knows what's going on.
Well, I think on bishop c5, I might still take the pawn. And I think I don't know. I mean, it's very messy, obviously. But I was actually more worried about just a5 because I wasn't sure what my next move was if he just does that, because I need to break the center with f4 or c4, but both breaks don't really work here, I don't think. Or wait, no, actually, no, here I can go c4 because d4 I can take, d4 I can play bishop d4. Yeah, okay, so, I mean, maybe a5 is not best, but yeah, it was very messy. But I think once Levon blundered and let me take on a6, I think practically speaking, it becomes very, very difficult because now all my moves are easy. We only have bishops on the board, so it's like I play c4, f4, I try to attack the center somehow. And black doesn't really have threats. So even though I think black maybe is still okay here, the flow of the position, it becomes really easy for white, and with the extra pawn, that's also an advantage.
So it was 2-2. Armageddon. Yeah, it felt... I'm not sure if you were in trouble objectively, but it felt like clockwise you had the situation more or less under control most of the way, no?
Yeah, I mean, I think there should have been some moment when I could have gone f5 and made it really clean, where I wouldn't have had this time situation at the end of the game. Like, if you go forward. Yeah, and actually I blundered, by the way. G6 was just a blunder. I was very lucky that on bishop b5 I had queen e6 because
we were talking about that. Yeah, you had seen bishop b5 or not. But...
Yeah, I just forgot because I thought he's going bishop d3 no matter what. And I just completely forgot.
Someone had this theory the other day that even if you blunder, normally your hand doesn't allow you to blunder too badly. Like you missed this knight fork against Fabiano, but somehow you were still in the game. And today there's this bishop b5, right. But you're also still in the game somehow. Like, I'm not sure.
I mean, maybe. I'm not really sure.
Something to...
Yeah, I mean, actually, there might be something to that, though, because I feel like a lot of times when I play online, I think I've blundered. It's like it's not a blunder, even though I definitely have not seen the tactics. Somehow it's not an actual blunder. So maybe it's true. I mean, somewhere around here, yeah. So is there f5? Yeah, if you go back, yeah, like here, f5 here, right? Yeah, of course. I'm such an idiot. So I can just, yeah. I mean, yeah, I just take and it's. Yeah, very, very, very bad. Very bad. It goes without saying.
Okay, but it did work out in the end. Big comeback. Tanya, Peter.
Congratulations on that winning that very tough and very tense match. Give us some insights into the thought process of picking the color for the Armageddon, because we were all talking about that and discussing. Is that something that you pre-decide going into the day? Is it on the spot? How does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I would say generally, if I have the choice, I will look to pick black against most people, unless I'm in a lot of trouble in the games with the black pieces. Now, I was in some trouble in both games with black, but I felt that the ideas that Levon posed were not super difficult, and with the 10-minute break, I was able to cover both of those problems during, before the Armageddon. So I think generally, unless I'll give you a good example. So against Fabiano, I should have picked white instead of black, because the idea that Fabiano came up with this H4 move, I've looked at it and obviously I know what to do against it, but it was not something that you can just look at for 30 seconds and come up with a good solution to. So against Fabiano, I should have probably picked the white piece, because the idea that he came with was very, very inspired. But generally speaking, I will look to pick black. Probably against almost anyone, honestly. Maybe against Magnus, I would look to white possibly, but for the most part, if I have the choice, I think generally I am going to pick black. I do trust in my openings, and I feel like in general, the most objective result is a draw, as Peter knows. So yeah, I don't pre-decide, but unless it's a really interesting idea that my opponents come with, or they've really surprised me, I'll almost certainly pick black.
And is that also because even though you're shot by a minute, but because of your ability to play so fast, you know that the clock time is something that you can recover on during the game, and having those draw odds are better?
Yeah, I mean, I think against Levon plays a lot less online blitz than most of the other players. Like against Magnus or Fabiano, I think they both play a lot of blitz and bullet shots online. So I think it depends on the opponent as well. I think against Levon generally he's a bit slower, which I mean is a good thing, because it means that he's trying to find the best moves. So I think against Levon, I really like picking black, just because it felt like he doesn't want to make the instinct moves in like 1 or 2 seconds. He really likes to think a little bit more. And I think in a situation like this, that certainly cost him, because at the end of the game, I think by the end I was even up on the clock. So yeah, it depends. But against someone like Levon, I think my chances are good.
And it did pay off today. And now this is a different format, so there are still more matches to play. How do you feel about that? I mean, you did win the first mini match, but you've got 2 more to play potentially. Your thoughts on this format?
Yeah, I mean, I think it lets you be a little bit looser. So, for example, in the third game of this match, when I got the bad position, my attitude was kind of like, okay, if it's losing, it's losing. I just play random moves and whatever, as opposed to say thinking for like a minute or 2 minutes in some critical positions, because I know that even if I lose game 3, I will have another shot in 2 days to play Levon. So I think from that standpoint, perhaps it lets you be a little bit freer if you're behind in the match, knowing that you have the opportunity again. But in general, I think it shouldn't objectively play a big role, but it will favor the player who plays the best moves. That much is very clear.
All right, thank you, and congratulations once again.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot, Hikaru.
Yeah, Hikaru. He left already. Yeah.
No, I'm here.
No. Get your question.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, congratulations, Hikaru. It was an incredible comeback. One of the questions, because you all guys already talked about so many things, the second game. Can we just go to the second game?
You want to talk about the opening, yeah?
Yeah, I want to talk about this exchange sacrifice. What do you think? Did Levon miss Queen D2, or was it all part of his plan?
I'm pretty sure that he blundered, but he bluffed perfectly. He kept the straight face and he just kept playing. I think he missed just D4, B3. I think he missed Queen A5, King B1, and he just missed that I can play B3 here. But I mean, he kept moving very quickly, very confidently, as though he hadn't lost a beat. But I think it was definitely a blunder. But he kept just going along as though everything was fine. And I mean, it worked out for him.
Yeah, because here my question was that instead of F5, could you have played C4? What do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, once you know what the best moves are, it's very easy. And actually looking back, what happened after F5, I know that C4 would have been a better move. But at the board, I just thought he trades and takes the pawn. And for some reason, I didn't realize that this endgame, I guess, is just much better for white, probably after like bishop C3, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, we didn't look with computers, so I'm not sure. It was just my feeling that I believe that Levon must have blundered, and I thought that probably you also believe it, but I wanted to know what you think about this.
No,
situation.
I mean, I didn't believe it at all. I thought he blundered, but I mean, the position is such that it actually makes a lot of sense. Like, it doesn't look like, it looks like one of those Alpha Zero type things where, yeah, I mean, you give away a rook and you just close the position. But I mean, I totally should have played c4 because that would have been a much better try.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think already everything said. So congratulations about this fantastic comeback, because it was really truly impressive. And yeah, we are enjoying the show. It's really fantastic.
Yeah, well, it's been fun. Stressful, but fun.
Thanks, Hikaru.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks.